Fox looked great in his first game back after missing 2. He was flying around on defense. He was doing a lot on offense. He looked as spry as he has all season. But his fourth quarter, played all 12 minutes, horrendous. 0 of 4 from the field, including 3 missed from the 3-point line. He went 1 of 2 at the free throw line, scored just 1 point in those 12 minutes with 3 turnovers and 1 assist. And, I think you can remember one specific turnover that maybe made you want to gouge your eyes out. He spoke after the game. And I do give him some credit. And maybe this is because he set a low bar. Because how many times? There's been like 2, maybe 3 times where Keon Ellis goes out to talk to the media after like a rough loss, such as the one that they had against the Bulls on Monday night. But both Fox and Sabonis were the 2 players that went up to the podium and spoke to the media. But I have to be honest, Fox is a guy that's been in the league for 6-7 years, whatever it is, talks to the media all the time, is the face of the franchise, never really seems uncomfortable at all. Seems 100% comfortable in front of the media. But there was something about his press conference on Monday that just kind of felt like he wasn't 100% comfortable. I wouldn't say he was like uncomfortable, but his answers were containing a lot of run-on sentences and thoughts. He'd kind of run from thought to thought. And I think that fourth quarter, the way he was acting in the press conference, which I can't even really ascribe to what feeling it was, whether it was him not necessarily taking the fullest accountability for something or if he was like shell-shocked by what had happened, whatever the case may be. Something still points me to the idea that Fox lacks something as a leader. And I keep bouncing between this binary between, he needs to step up as a leader, and, he can only step up as a leader in so many ways because you can't force a guy to be somebody he's not. You can't force a guy who's naturally reserved to be this vocal leader. And I'm kind of starting to go back towards the former more because there's something that just seems so glaring about Fox in terms of what's lacking from his leadership. And I know this is another one of those redundant topics that we talk about all the time, but hey, it's the same shit, different day with this team.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. His leadership has been so underwhelming. Like, at least last year, he was backing it up with that Clutch Player of the Year award and, just play in the fourth quarter in general and leading them to that playoff drought ending. He's just different this year. He's not, he's had some good fourth quarters, but we're close to the level he was playing at last year, which I feel like was kind of his leadership in a way. But now he doesn't have that. Like, when they actually need a guy to step up and just be a leader on like so many fronts, he's just not.
I always go back to when Mike Brown was like pleading for someone to step up as a leader. And he told the story of his first year in Cleveland with a young LeBron James, like taking over a huddle.
People talk about LeBron's greatness on the court. My first year in Cleveland, we were a show team back then. You can jump out and show, and they didn't shoot the three as much and some other things. And we worked on that all summer when I got there, and then we worked on it all at training camp. And we started out kind of slow my first year there, and I'll never forget. We were like 8 games in. And we were playing a home game. I can't remember who we were playing against, and we were just getting killed in the pick and roll. So I called a timeout, and finally I said, "Hey, look, what do you guys want to do? We tried showing, we tried switching. You want to try? What do you want to?" And before I can get another word out, LeBron, as a young player, he stepped into the huddle, and he goes, "F that. We're an effing show team. We worked on it the whole training camp. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Let's effing go." And I just stepped out the huddle. And from there, you go look at what our defensive rating was the rest of that season and the next 4 years.
And I always think about that. It's just like, that was like Mike Brown trying to tell De'Aaron Fox, like, this might be the missing piece. This might be the missing piece for you. This could potentially, given some other things around you, be the missing piece for this team. And that was a couple months ago. And De'Aaron Fox didn't call the players' meeting, He didn't do that. It just doesn't seem like he grasps it. It doesn't seem like he totally understands and accepts the idea that he needs to step up in that regard. Because I really think he'd put in a better effort if he did. And I don't know if that's him ignoring it. I don't think there's screws missing in his head. He's a smart guy. I can't imagine that it's any lack of ability or any lack of interest. I just think that it's kind of going over his head, and someone's got to let him know, or somehow he's got to have something that's going to wake him the hell up in that regard.